So how is the universe on YouTube doing? Hopefully everybody's having a good start to the week. So I went over to the shopping center and kind of got a little awakening while I was there. So I went and talked with a couple of the owners of the stores, and the Mongolian barbecue place is closed down. A lot of the stores that still had signs up are all closed down. And the few stores there, I walked in there and I went into one store and shopped the entire store, looking through clearance to see if I can find anything to flip. I found a couple of things for myself too, and like I was the only person there for almost an hour. Like me and the owner just sitting there chatting it up, and I was talking with one of them about like how's your profit margin? What are you doing to try bringing in new customers? And is it possible to do online? They said no, because it's a franchise store. And then there's another one that they actually had a beautiful set. I mean, it's a clothing store, and they're kind of like City Trends, where they have the motivational shirts that are. I found one is black and white, has a weird pattern on it. It says hustle. So, but see, the thing about it is a lot of them, unfortunately, for my body type, don't work, because they're made for people who, like, I'm wide on top, but I'm also wide on the bottom in my belly. And they have tapered shirts where they hug the belly a little too much than what I want to know about. So anyways, I mean, I can fix that by getting rid of the belly, but I want clothes now. It takes a while to get rid of a belly. But anyways, talking with them, and and it's just the area. I mean, they've been there for a while, and but that one company is called It's Fashion Metro. The store, I don't know if they're really doing any kind of big business or not, but I will say, going to like discount clothing stores, that is one of the nicest ones I've been to. I mean, everything was set up perfect. It's set up, I mean, they don't have any customers, so all they're doing is just constantly cleaning the store. But if you're in the Dunn Avenue area, right at Dunn, and I believe it's Slim Turner, there's like a McDonald's there. Behind the McDonald's, there's a lot of nice little shops there. And I mean, we're going to lose them if we don't help them out. I'm not saying going in there and dropping a ton of money, but if you go in there and just find something, you never know. I bought one shirt from them. So, but yeah, and there was a new wing shop called Duval Wings. I can't remember if I heard about them or not, but they said the girl who was working there, working by herself, cooking, doing the prep work, running the register, open letter to the owner. Just the fact that she's showing up, you better be paying her good. But they're definitely in need of a lot of attention. And I'm not throwing no shade, no hate, nothing like that. This is all. And I was talking with her. I was like, hey, you got the college right up the street. You got the police training area. I was like, get some flyers made up and get it on the boards there, and let them know that you do discounts for the cops, and talk about the, I don't know who this is, Chicago. I'm not answering the phone call from Chicago. I don't know anybody in Chicago. Anyways, tell them, make some flyers up, and maybe have a discount day, or advertise the daily specials up at the college. They do the Grubhub delivery, so I was like, you should be posting all over and be the #1 spot for the college. She's like, I never even thought of that. I was like, yeah. I was like, you can't just open a store and put up a now open sign. And I told her, I was like, the sign above you don't even match the sign, the name of your business. She's like, yeah, I know about that. But anyway, it's, good food. I went there and ate, had no problem with the food. It just, I don't think they were 100% ready to open yet. So, but yeah, it's a tough world out here right now. Just got off the phone with one of my old customers. She's like, "Are you still doing business?" I was like, "Not really." They're like, "Well, I need a door." I'm like, "Well, I can't even get to it. I mean, I got other stuff I got going on right now." I said, "Next year, I might do doors, but even that's, it's something." I basically told her flat out. I was like, "You got all the new regulations and the COVID and people flipping out until you walk into their house and, and all house. What the hell did I just say? But you walk into someone's house and, a friend of mine got served papers for not even being sick, for being unvaccinated, which is the stupidest damn thing I've ever heard." So, anyways, just with all that going on, I don't even want to go to people's houses anymore. So, I mean, I think that part of my life is over. Maybe I'm never going to close the door. But I'm never going to close the door on me being in the door business. But right now, I have other things I'm focusing on. And I will be honest with you, I had a lazy few hours. I don't want to answer you. I'm not going to talk to you. So, but yeah, I'm sending people to other people and but I mean, people are like, "Hey, do you know any other door installers?" It's like, no. I was like, everybody else is kind of the same boat. We don't want to play no more. We're tired of going to people's houses. We're tired of all the attitude, walking into people's houses, and, just done with it. Karens of the world, you fucked it up for everybody. So, but that's my plan, and I know what I'm doing is not for everybody. It's not supposed to be for everybody. You should live your dream, whatever it may be. I mean, if you want to, go out and play professional ping pong, freaking do it. But understand that your lifestyle that you want, or let me rephrase that. The job or work that you do may not provide you the lifestyle you want. So, like, if you want to be a bum and sit around all day, you shouldn't be looking at Esquire or GQ. Imagine having a Rolex and a Maserati sitting out front. That kind of stuff, you got to be grinding your ass off. Or be really good at playing the lottery. But, I mean, there's so much delusion in people's minds on, they're currently working at McDonald's and, talking about, yeah, I'm going to go buy the next, what is it, Hellcat Charger. True story. I was like, "Oh, so McDonald's, you paying you that well?" He's like, "No, but my side hustle," of course, you know what the side hustle is. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but I just rolled my eyes. But yeah, I guess the main thing is just be true to yourself. If you're renting an apartment, you shouldn't have a $50,000 automobile out front. Yeah, which I see a lot. I see so many people, brand new car, $30,000 to $50,000 automobile, making $500 to $700 payments, living in a trailer. Never could understand that. Because one, Jesus, people, leave me the hell alone. But if you're in a trailer, and if any of y'all ever been in a trailer, y'all know this. If you go out and start buying fancy shit, you become a target in a trailer. Your ass will get robbed because all you need is a little screwdriver and you get any trailer out there. In fact, it's the Stanley number 4 flathead screwdriver that's 11 inches. Yep. It's a number 4 flathead. You can get into any trailer and basically any home with a sliding glass door that was built in 1985 or older. Yeah. But now that I kind of put out some information, I would like to add some information to that. First off, don't be a criminal. It's not worth it. Don't break into someone's house unless it's yours and you lost a key. Period. There's something called chaos theory. And the biggest, or the best way to explain it is, let's say hypothetically, you learn about a bank in the middle of nowhere, like outskirts of town. No one ever goes around there. And this bank is going to be getting in millions of dollars in cash, but because it's, for whatever reason, just a hypothetical situation, and for whatever reason, they're not going to upgrade the security because, no one really knows about it. You just happen to find out about it on the low. So you say, okay, well, I'm going to rob the place. I'm going to get all that money. And security guard, just an old timer guy who naps in the corner with a little, 5-shot revolver on his hip, and 1 or 2 tellers, but none, making the short story long. Chaos theory is bringing in things that would not normally be part of the equation and adding it in as a surprise, or Murphy's Law, and that's very similar to chaos theory. So let's say you go and you steal a car, you go there, you rob the place, and a couple of things that chaos theory would introduce into the equation is, let's say a Force Recon Marine that just happened to have a concealed carry, he happens to be walking by, or a cop, just happens to be wanting to do a deposit, after his lunch break because he, just didn't have time before, or the car you stole breaking down as you're trying to crank it up and leave. That's chaos theory. So you can have the best laid plan for doing anything bad or good. So you can have this plan, and there will be outside forces that you couldn't plan for. In other words, things that would not normally be entered into the equation, because chaos theory was originally done for science experiments, where I think one of the ones that they had for the science experiment is they had the air conditioner was on when they were doing like test samples in petri dishes, and the air conditioner was running, circulating the air when they were doing it. I guess when it hit temperature, it shut off, and it took months to find out why it was different. But just because the air was not circulating, all the petri dishes done after the air conditioner turned off were different, and they couldn't figure out why. And that's one of the reasons why they kind of started up the whole chaos theory thing. And I can't remember if it was the air conditioner or a fan or something, but just because the air was circulating while closing petri dishes, then, and the ones that didn't have, they grew different bacteria or different whatever it was that they were testing. So, and that's one of the things you don't sit here and think about, is my fan running, when you're doing a science experiment. That's why now they have clean rooms with, clean air, and everything's different. So, but yeah, that's the reason that I will never be a criminal, is because you never know what's going to happen. In fact, realistically, if you did want to get away with something, it would be something that you never planned on doing in the beginning. Which I can go into more detail on that, but I'm not going to. And yes, I think about bad stuff and doing bad things. I just don't do it. I mean, I was raised in the 80s where everything on television was violence. Everything was war because of the Cold War. I mean, it's even worse for my parents because they grew up during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I mean, could you imagine, hearing air raids and literally thinking I'm not going to say goodbye to my family because I'm on the other side of town? They didn't have phones like they do now. I was talking with my niece and trying to explain to her, like, she doesn't even understand the world that I grew up in. I mean, I can understand the 50s because it was, but I don't know the 50s. I wasn't around in the 50s, but I understand a certain aspect. But everything that's happening today, everything that happened in the 90s, everything that happened in the 80s, It happened in the 50s. It happened in the 30s. It happened in the 20s. We're still the same people. We still have the same screwed up brains. We still do the same screwed up stuff. It's just that the laws, the information on the way it travels has changed a lot. So, but we're still the same people. We have not evolved into anything better. In fact, there's a strong argument that we've evolved into stupider things. You know, I mean, when you have a label on a bottle of bleach, do not drink, that shows that, that was not around back in the 50s. It did not have a label saying don't drink this. There's a lot of stuff, but then there's a lot of bad stuff too. Misinformation on labels. Traffic is such a unique experiment in life. Think about this for a second. Oh, here we go. We're going all over the damn place again. But think about this for a second. Okay? You have to assume that most people in this world have a good heart or self-preservation. Okay? Because if you're from any mid-size, small town, mid-size town, for the exception of a couple of urban centers, the only thing stopping you from the people coming the other direction is usually a painted line in the middle of the road. Just think about that for a second. I mean, you're driving, you have no idea the people that are in the other cars. You don't know whether they hate you, whether they love you, whether they be your friend or a mortal enemy. You have no idea who these people are next to you. And they have an item that they control, as do you, an item that you control that could kill tens, possibly hundreds of people, most likely tens of. But you're literally driving around in a death machine that could either kill others or kill you. And on blind faith, you assume that everybody's going to follow the law. That everybody's going to, have a good heart or self-preservation to not want to kill you while you're driving. And all it takes is just someone to say, whoop, you go into the next lane. You ever watch them, the car crash compilations from Russia? Whew. I would not want to drive in Russia. But yeah, it's kind of weird to think that, on how much stuff can kill you at any point. Well, those of you who was raised on Final Destination fully are aware. Y'all freaking have panic attacks anytime you get near a logging truck. But, it's just, you have to assume that everybody's good, but understand that not everybody is. So, I'm trying to do some good information stuff here. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just pondering life as I talk into a phone. Yeah. It'd be cool if everybody could get together and just kind of be individuals while still, agreeing on certain things. But I think it's going to take... I don't think it's possible. I just think we're too far down the rabbit hole. Now it's basically find your buddy, find your other that fits in with your little bubble that you live in, and just try to have more than just you by yourself in a bubble. That's right now, that's the only goal to work toward, is trying to just figure out, who's going to be the person or persons that's going to, be with you and not stab you in the back. And yeah, I'm thinking a lot more than I'm saying. I apologize. But I'm also trying not to have a video like last night. One of these days, I kind of want to post them videos, but I got to edit. I got to figure out how to edit before I do that. I'm not saying I take out all the bad stuff. There's a couple things it's better off if I don't say it out loud. But most of my family, don't even know how to, I mean, they know I'm a unique individual, but most of my family don't even know all the shit that I think about. Yeah, I'm about to get a little emotional. I think it won't stop. But no, tonight is a pseudo family night. So I'm gonna go over to my mom's. We're gonna have some pork and beans with some hot dogs cut up in it, and I think some Jello. So it's a good trailer park style dinner. She's not from my mom's not from the trailer park though. That's my dad when he remarried. He didn't really have a whole lot going on, and they were struggling. So his wife's dad gave him a brand new trailer on a piece of property he had, and unfortunately, anytime you give somebody something, they don't quite take care of it as good as if you earned it yourself. So needless to say, the trailer, it lasted for a while, but once the new wore off, it went downhill pretty quick. And unfortunately, so did their relationship. But I don't really talk about my dad too much on here. I don't really talk about it much in, he was a good dad, but definitely not a father, if that makes any sense to you guys. Like, he wasn't really around, and he never really, the few good things he said, basically the only good thing he taught me is if you're going to do something, do it in a van. That's the only piece of advice I actually listen to him on. But I sit here and generate my own money, create my own businesses, and one of the very few self-sufficient people in this world. Like, I've had people try to give me money many times, and I will not take it because I know it comes with strings, and I will not be a puppet for anybody. But he just wasn't a bad guy. Just wasn't a good guy either. But he lived in his dreams, and I will, drugs and alcohol, not to the point where he was a junkie or nothing like that, but he drank his beer, he smoked his cigarettes, and smoked his weed. I don't think he did anything more than that. If he did, he hit it pretty good. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it off here, and I will talk with you guys later. Peace, love, money. I'm out.